So can we start now? Okay, we can start. So a shout out to everyone in the space, each one teach one. So I've just seen a video. It was on Polycarp Hinga's TikTok page. Twitter page. So Polycarp Hinga TikTok page ndio nimeona hiyo video. So the video is a woman whom wamekosana na bibi yake. Shout out to you Idiongo. Thiongo wamekosana na bibi yake. You know the normal stuff that people go through like in relationships. Okay, like the normal petty shit that happens in relationships. But now this is the thing. So this woman goes ahead and calls her husband a thief. So bwana yake anachapwa na watu wa bodaboda, na bwana yake akichapwa na watu wa bodaboda, bibi yake anasema ni mwizi. Mwizi. So watu wa bodaboda, you know how they are, before they ask you questions, wanakusalimia kidogo. So amesalimiwa na watu wa bodaboda, wamemsalimia wewe kiasi. So before they found out the truth, they're like, oh wait, huu ni bibi yako. Wanauza bibi, huu ni bwana yako, ati yeye ni bwana yako. Na mbona unasema ni mwizi? Ati yeye amechukua simu yangu, sijua watu wanamuuliza, but umesema ni mwizi. Na amesalimiwa na raia juu ni mwizi. So sasa the bodaboda guys decided to discipline the woman. So pia bibi ya jamaa wa bodaboda amesalimiwa. So first bibi ameita bwanake mwizi. Wamekosana tu kwa street, akaita bwana mwizi. So bwana anachapwa na watu wa bodaboda, bibi anasema tu mwizi, ameniibia simu. So bwana anachapwa na watu wa bodaboda. Then wana realize huu ni bwana ya huyu bibi. So wanashika bibi, wana slap hair, wanaambia bwana, na huu si bibi, ukirudi kwenye mnaenda uende uache ubibi, kwa sababu sasa ungeuliwa, anakuita mwizi. You get it? Now Sun in Sagittarius, shout out to all the Sagittarius. Moon iko nyuma inaingia. It is year 8, which is the crashing year na vitu kama hizo. But we have to understand the reason behind the shit that is happening between the genders, the men and the women. And kiss kama hiyo, si kiss weird. I can give you a true story. You know, I like giving true stories. So my auntie, may her soul rest in peace, alikuwa anaitwa Miriam Kabura. Okay? So this is the only daughter to my shosho, Hannah Wambui, the late Hannah Wambui. So my auntie, late auntie, Miriam Kabura, alikuwa ameolewa na Ngene. What was the other name of my uncle? What was the other name? Something Ngene. Alikuwa anaitwa Ngene. So Ngene, for those people who are watching this live and maybe they know him, so Ngene anaishi Dagoretti Railway Station. Ukienda Dagoretti Railway Station, hapo juu kwenye kulikuanga na water tanks, kuna familia hapo. Wako na brother ya Ngene anaitwa Manpele. Manpele ni brother ya Ngene. So Manpele ameimba kawimbo kitambo kwa YouTube kanasema what mama told me. Mama told me, I remember what my mom told me. Shout out to mama ya Pele, shout out to mama ya Ngene. So that would be my grandmother extended on that side. So Ngene used to work for BAT back in the days. So Ngene knew those men who back in the day walikuwa wa kwanza kununua radio cassette player, ile ya double. Ile ulikuwa unaweka hapa na pale, unaweka play na pause, na ile nyingine unafinya play. So ikifika mwisho, ikiruka ile nyingine inaanza kucheza. Unajua watu wametoka mbali na ni still in one lifetime. So ilikuwa hizo ni zile siku radio ilikuwanga ni Philips, unajua those days. So those men walikuwa nakatia wa mama na radio na LPs ni kinanda kama hii yangu iko hapa, unaona. So unajua hapa kunaweza kuwa na Gen Z wajui LP. Acha nionyeshe Gen Z LP. LP ni kitu kama hii Gen Z. Unajua hapa kunaweza kuwa na Gen Z ya juu. Gen Z LP ni kitu kama hii. Okay, kitu kama hii. So ndani ukifungua ndani iko na kitu kama hii, unajua Gen Z anaweza kujua juu pengine hii ni nini. So Gen Z, hii si sahani na hii si karai. Hii ni music. Ilikuanga side moja na nyimbo 3 ama 5 kulingana na ni gani, na unageuza the other side. Shout out to my record players. Now I have more than, niko na vinanda mingi zinacheza. I have a Sony one and I have a Samsung one. Zote zinacheza. I also have cassette players in my house. Toras always have good things. Now, sasa, these uncle of mine, Ngene, walikuwa wanakosana na, of course, those stupid, you remember we have been raised by baby boomers who used to beat their women like shit. You know, people like my dad, they used to beat their women like mahindi. So this is also where our ways of relating started up on a fucked up level, because you know we live our pattern. So kama uliona babako akislap mamako, you find that even you in your ears you can lash at women or be angry for no reason. So my grandmother, my late grandmother Hannah Wamboi, may she rest in peace, used to be that mother-in-law who meddle. You remember those mothers-in-law walikuwa na meddle sana in affairs of their children, ulionewa na nani na vitu kama hizo. So my auntie left her matrimonial home kitambo sana, akaenda Nakuru Njoro. Wala watu wanajua Nakuru Njoro, naongea about Nakuru Njoro, area ya Jawadho na Bondeni. Bondeni ukipita reli, Bondeni ni side ya chini, side ya juu ni pale Jawadho hakuena kanitha wa Mutuota. So my great grandfather, sasa huyu ni baba ya shosho yangu Hannah Wamboi, alikuwa anaitwa Bogwa wake Mara. So ukienda Bondeni town, Njoro Bondeni pale chini, ni wale watu, hizo nyumba za pale chini ni the first people who used to own land hapo. Alikuwa anatengeneza baiskeli zile zinaitwa harari na vitu kama hizo. So my auntie started doing business ya serious. So alikuwa ananunua mahindi, wanaweka kwa gari ya moshi. Back then gari ya moshi ilikuwa inaenda everywhere. Kisumu ilikuwa ndio kama matatu. So watu walikuwa wanaingiza mahindi wanaziweka huko chini. So ukipita kwa gari ya moshi unaenda ukiruka mizigo. Of course mnaongea na watu wa ticketing, ndio walikuwa wanakula hiyo pesa ya mizigo na vitu kama hizo. So my auntie used to do serious. Okay? She was a very beautiful woman. Very beautiful woman. She was a slay queen. Shout out to Miriam. Her namesake could be my sister, our last born sister, wanafanana. She's also a slay queen, but yake ni ya kuingia ndege, unaona. But still living a life and selling nothing. Unaweza sema ati anauzanga hiyo, she's pushing this as a product. She is the product. Shout out to her also. So forgive yourself for whatever you do for survival. So I don't judge, okay? Even if you're a sexual worker, I don't judge. In this space, we don't judge. We know why we get to those positions. Now, so my auntie walikuwa nasumbuana na bwana yake sasa, back and forth, that is Ngene. So wakisumbuana anaenda Nakuru kwa shosho yangu, anakaa huko kidogo na watoto, akisikizana anarudi. So my uncle Ngene, mwenye amekuambia naishi pale Oreri akina Pele, one day decided to go to Nakuru. Si unajua unaenda ili unajua ati huyu ni bibi yangu, naweza enda nimuone. So he went to see my auntie ni bibi yake, na unajua wazee wakifika mahali kwanza wanapitia mahali wanakunywa. So he went drinking, took a few drinks. So he was like, I'm going to have a few drinks, and then after the few drinks I can go and see my wife. So auntie yangu saizi wanakaa kwa plot ya shosho yangu. So my shosho had her own plot. Kwa hapo saizi nasikia, anyway, that's not important. So my father's brother, babangu mdogo, anaitwa Kamau, may he also rest in peace, he also moved on. Alikuwa sasa huko nyumbani, si huko ni kwa mamake kwa shosho. So my uncle akaenda kuangalia bibi yake nyumbani kwa shosho yangu akiwa mlevi. But venye alifika huko usiku kunok, venye walifungua, my auntie alimuita mwizi. Akaanza kuscream, mwizi, mwizi. So the neighbors came out and they started attacking my uncle wakiwa wote. So my auntie, brother yake, babangu mdogo, na neighbors wakaanza kuattack uncle yangu. So they attacked him, broke his leg. Walikuwa wanampiga miguu na nyundo. mpaka wakamvunja mguu na nyundo. They were dragging him on the streets. They wanted to lynch him, kumchoma. Sasa ilifika hapo wataona, hey, by the way, usi anakaa ni nani? Ni bonake. Ala. So this is not something new. Women will have gotten men killed in so many instances before watu wajue. Okay? And even that case muliona, where everyone was rushing to say sijui Rick Ross wa JCM. So before you rush to, that is why I say my commandments, thou shalt not cast stones at me if you find thou bystanders casting stone at me. Venye unaonanga mtu ameingia kwa live ameanza tu kuropoko hata ajui not what is happening, but then again you are human. So on that stretch of the same thing yenye nimeona kwa Twitter, Polycarp Hinga ameweka mtu anachapwa na watu wa bodaboda juu bibi yake amesema amemnyang'anya mwizi, and then they realize, oh shit, huyu ni bwanake. Bibi ndiye anamchapisha watu wa bodaboda akimuita mwizi mchana. So they turn around, wameslap huyu bibi a few slaps, wakamwambia wache hiyo tabia. Tutoke hapo. There was another instance of a stupid man who amekuwa akigongea sistake bonake. So there was another on Twitter, there are so many things. So naye amekuta brothake na bibi yake. So bibi yake yako hapo, yeye anakelelesha brothake, ati unajua venye ile struggle nimepitia na huyu bibi wangu 3 years, na uko na boma yako, wewe unavunja boma. So what are the reasons for these things happening with the women? Juleo ni Reparenting Tuesday. And this is not even about women or men, but this is looking at the root cause of all these things with the women. Even how that woman decides, I'm going to go and crash that car. Juu ukiangalia all instances of women or where there's violence being meted on men by the women will always direct their violence on property. Unaona? Sasa kama huyo wa Rick Ross wa JCM alikuwa anagonga Prado yake na gari. Unaona? Wao mwingine mwenye ako tutor anabomoa TV, anavunja vitu. So you know when you get onto social media, when a woman is angry at a man, she attacks or she directs all her energy on his gadgets. Muliona ile ingine where a woman destroyed a man's whole life. A man who has spent so many hours building a gaming empire worth millions of dollars, akadelete your game. Why? Because she wants to hurt him at his core. Hurt him, destroy that man's what you call self-esteem. So a woman knows that men are to gadgets. So nionanga wa mama wanavunjanga garis, anavunja screen, anavunja side mirrors, ama ana crash gari intentionally. Most of the crash crashed by women are crashed intentionally by the women to hurt the man. Aende garage, aski your pain. So now, if that is the case, and on this page we don't judge, okay, we are not going to say that men are good or women are this. We are going to look at the root cause of that. Because a woman's father, baba ya msichana, is the one who sets the tone for how she relates to the masculinity. You see, when a woman is dealing with the masculine, aka what you call the male or the man, when a woman is dealing with a man, how she deals with that man, that tone is set by the father figure, for those who don't have father. So a lot of our women are carrying what you can call deep father wounds. They have very deep-seated father wound. And I tell you why. So imefika to a point where women, because they are ailing, they have that deep-seated father wound. So the only way to attack is to attack anything that is masculine, even if it has got nothing to do with them. So a woman will just say like this, and they will always go for a masculine figure that looks like it's upstanding, for lack of a better word. Women don't attack weak men. Women know strong men, so women will not attack a weak man. A woman will always go for a strong man, aka a strong masculine, hata kama ajijui. Okay? Why? These women are the women who grew up with what you call a father who does not embodify what you call healthy masculine traits. Now, there's a case of fuck around and find out, because you see, when you make a choice, because hakuna ku escape, when you make a choice, just because you have fatherhood does not mean that you get to escape. Okay? And fuck around and find out is what I'm speaking about. And I'm really trying to remain on point on this life because I do not take kindly to, especially to people who know my stand on things. Kuna test sikubali, unajua. Anyway, back to the live. Now, I'm going to give you examples of father wounds that turn women against other men or masculinity. So if a woman was abandoned early in her life by their father, okay, they develop father wounds, especially if they didn't have anyone to nurture them after that. If a woman grew up with an abusive father, either he was abusive verbally, calling them names in the house, or physically. So for example, these will be my sisters now. They have deep father wounds. Okay? If a father was passive and was allowing the mother to bulldoze him, that woman will have a father wound, and that father wound will make her turn against the masculine. If a woman or a girl is growing up and the man was very hard on the woman, the father is very hard on the girl, so she's forcing the daughter to become what you call hyper independent. So the father forces the girl to be dependent before first time. That girl develops what you call father wounds. So if a girl is abandoned early, so if you have a child with a woman and you abandon that woman, or that girl goes without the father figure, because the father may not be there, but the woman may be balanced enough to find a boyfriend or a man who is masculine, who can step into that role, where that girl does not feel abandoned. Though the mother is single or they are not with the father, but she has never felt abandoned. There has always been a father figure. Even if he just comes to fuck the mother once a week, but there is that father figure. Okay? If a woman has been abused verbally, physically, they develop father wounds. So even the attachment levels, the men they seek, the men they attract, will show that they have deep father wounds. Our father who cannot speak, the mother is always suppressing the man, so mwanamume amekaliwa na bibi yake. The problem is not the man. The problem is the daughters they raise. Those daughters will have father wounds because they grew up watching a man who was always had his tail between the legs. I'm going with this. Sasa ujue tuko reparenting Tuesday. And everyone here, most of you watching me, you have father wounds, especially as women. So it's time, class in session now. You should be taking notes so that you can work, go and heal on your... go and do your shadow work. Ndio ujue, kumbe hii kitu ndio inanisumbuanga. Kumbe mimi nafikirianga ati mimi ni mnoma na ni father wounds niko nazo. So whatever traumas a woman has with the father, akina Gary Sean Kirema, these are the things that teach your women how to relate with men. Ndio maana unaona hata ukienda kwa kina Jenga Karume hawasikizani. All the daughters of Jenga Karume ni mashida tupu with their husbands. So if a woman does not work on her shadows, if a woman is still carrying that father wound, subconsciously, she doesn't even know. For example, I don't even know their story. Those couple, au mwenye mmekuwa mkichangia mkisema femicide na nonsense. I don't know their story. Me, I look at the patterns. I look at the behavior. This woman is using her car to crash into another man's car. So there is a lot of anger. She has felt she cannot communicate to the man. Huyu haezi nisikiza. The only thing I can do is wacha nigonge gari yake because he cares about his TX na vitu kama hizo. So if a woman is still carrying what you call that wound, subconsciously, she's not even aware. She's not aware that she's projecting that pain onto any man that she gets into a relation with. Now, that relationship can be a work relationship, can be a sexual relationship, it doesn't matter. That woman will always project that father wound into any man she meets. Now, there's a difference now, and this is a disclaimer. I am not a man. So if you are watching me and you are approaching me thinking I am a man, no, I'm a spirit experiencing this dimension, Tiamat Gaia, in a man's body, But in reality, I'm not a man. I do not identify as a man. I am male. There's a difference between a man and a male. I am male. And to get to heaven, you have to go through man, male. So you can project your insecurities on me, but how I deal with them, I'll not be dealing with them like a man. I'll deal with them like a male. Now back to the live. So deep down inside that woman, there's this deep-seated thing whereby she does not trust the masculine. It's not you she doesn't trust. No, she doesn't trust the masculine. Because even with her own father, she didn't feel safe. With her own father. And remember, your father is supposed to be the safety net. The first safety net for a girl child is the father. So if a girl has been raised, grown up without ever feeling safe, she will never be safe with any man. It doesn't matter what the man does. Unless she sits and does shadow work, unless she finds a channel like this, which we don't have many channels like this, she will never do her shadow work to heal. Wacha nione kwa nini napewa notification na hii channel. So you guys, let me see. Because I can end this live. 2.5 thousand likes. I have over 30 people watching. If this live doesn't get to 30,000 likes, if you're not going to tap this screen to get to many people or share the live, imeshaiwa na mtu moja, I'm going to end it. Then you can go get killed, you can go shout your femicides, you can, if you don't want to heal, if you're not going to tap the screen, I'm ending this live. That is a warning. Musinilete father wounds zenyu mimi. Okay? Don't bring me your father wounds. Deal with your father wounds. Now, actually, I don't even have to continue with this live. I don't have to. I don't have to continue with this live. So, yeah, today is Tuesday. Reparenting Tuesday. It's all about reparenting. It's a mass day. So, vitu kama hizo. So, and then the kanisa, you go to church, go and heal in church. And then muombewe na Pastor Kanyari, muombewe na Pastor Nganga, and the other people. So, nilisema sitakuwa na kubali this disrespect, okay? You can go and watch those other channels that have teaching nonsense. Ni sawa. Because there's workshops that cost thousands of dollars to help women heal from their fatherhood na vitu kama hizo. So when I come here and I'm giving you this information and you're just there thinking it's for fun, hiyo nayo nimekataa. Okay? Hiyo nimekataa. That one I will not accept. Ni sawa. So let me see if there's a question. Because I cannot be going live, alafu live inaitishia hapa kuanguka hapa ati encourage your viewers to tap the screen. I'm not going to do that. Hiyo nayo sitafanya. Hiyo sitafanya. Now, like I said, so when this happens now you see, nimetoka kwa women. Nimetoka kwa why the women have the mother wound or the father wound, where it's coming from, the lack of a safety net, not being protected and everything. Now, remember what I said, in this channel, I don't spare no one. So this channel, utasikia nikitetea men or women. No, I cut both ways. My sword is sharp enough to cut both ways. I wield the biggest sword on this TikTok space when it comes to Kenya. Now, the reason now stems also from the man. When the man stops leading, when a man stops becoming the leader, the women now start the mothering. So ukumbuke, we are going back to the family. Pale, ni reparenting Tuesday. We start at the root. We do not solve, atupandangi mti kutoka juu. Tunaanzanga pale chini, root cause. Hii mashida yote tunapata ya women, my moon is in Leo. So when someone fucks up with my feelings, I get very fiery. Okay? When the men stop leading, the women start mothering. Shida yote inaanzanga hapa. So we no longer have men who are leaders. Leaders does not mean politicians. Those people you call leaders are politicians. Those people will sell you to the highest bidder. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the leadership as a virtue. So when a woman has no leadership from the home, they didn't see this with their father, that whole dynamic disrupts what you can call her ability to connect with herself and her man. You see, the feminine energy requires a foundation of emotional security. Emotional security. For the feminine to flourish, there has to be grounding for the feminine. The females have to be grounded. And for the female to be grounded, there has to be leadership. Men have to show leadership. Okay? Because that is the only way the female can relax into her flow. Because the woman is all about flow. Her menstrual flow, how she moves, how she jiggles, why she has boobs, why her ass vibrates when she's moving. Because women are walking vibrations. So a woman cannot relax in her creativity if she's lacking that leadership skills from the man. From the man. A woman has to be receptive. I actually don't even like using terms women. A female has to be receptive. So if a woman lacks leadership from the masculine, if she's not feeling or she's not allowed to flow, amepelekwa kanisa, maybe she does not even care about the church. If she's not allowed to be creative, if she's not given that space, okay, to be receptive, she decides, okay, it's my time now to take a more controlling or a more guarded status. My man, male, does not make me feel safe. So I need to be more guarded. Shit is not happening. He's not there for my daughters. He's never home. He's always watching football. He's always drinking, whatever he is. So the woman becomes more controlling now. Now she's more in control of the situation. Now, when she does that, her masculine side now, which is 40%, starts to come in to stabilize the environment. So even when you see that woman attacking the man's car, it's not her subconsciously, because she's not being listened to. She's taking the role of the man. Because you see, as a man, you are supposed to listen to a woman. You can't get to God before going through man. You can't. So that is even why women are told not to preach. Because women are led by their emotions. And emotions are good, but you need logic. You need to think. The feminine energy can only thrive in what you call environments of safety. She has to feel safe. She has to trust her father. Emotional stability. When a man is emotionally reactive, he just responds. He just bursts out na vitu kama hizo. He's erratic. His behavior is unknown. Anaweza kuja home leo, anaweza kosa kukuja home kesho. Anaweza kuja saa 9 za usiku, anaweza kuja saa 1. Anaweza kuja amekunywa, anaweza... His erratic behavior. So that is what is creating, because you see, the men, you cannot escape all this thinking that the women are wounded. No, because at the source ni nyinyi. Okay? Ni sisi. Been there, done that. We are all learning. No one is better. We are all doing our shadow works every day. Because what happens is that creates that atmosphere of being unpredictable. There's always that tension in the house. Baba yenu atakuja saa ngapi? Baba yenu ataleta fujo leo. You know, unpredictability. You don't even know. You are not even sure. So the woman goes into what you call self-protection. Uliona na hug soldier. She needs to be protected. Only the soldier can hug her. Only the soldier can make her feel safe. Okay? Au watu wa bodaboda, umama anaenda naambiwa watu wa bodaboda, muizi, muizi. Why is she doing that? Because she's being forced into a state of self-protection. This man is so abusive, whatever the situation, their emotional instability, their emotional immaturity imefika a point they can't talk to each other. So from her natural feminine essence, she pulls out that self-protection mode. In ile protection mode unaonanga na kuku naenda kumnyang'anya kifaranga na kukimbiza. It's subconsciously. Hata wakuange wamepanga, it comes from that. And when a woman cannot fully embody her feminine energy, okay? When a woman is in an emotionally reactive space with a man around there, when a woman is around an unstable man, when a woman is around a emotional, immature man, I know men who go to church are emotionally immature. You can't go to church and tell me you are a man. No. In church, we have weak boys. If you're a man, you should be creating your own religion. You should be building. Si ati umekaa chini pale unahubiriwa na mwanaume mwingine ama mwanamke. That is weakness. Hiyo haina mahali unaweza ni convince. That is the moment you approach me, you talk to me and you're telling me you go to church, there's a place I place you. Nakuwekanga mahali fulani. I know to touch you with a 6-foot pole. I know anytime you can crash. A woman cannot fully be in her feminine energy in the presence of an emotionally mature man, emotionally reactive man, or what you call an unstable man. Now, tukitoka hapo sasa, we go back and now we look at everything. Sasa tumetoka kwa man. Man has started the whole cycle. He's not there for the woman. The woman tumeona na yeye pia ana react kwa sababu hakuna safety. Hakuna safety. So hapa hakuna kublamiana. Hapa hakuna kusema ati femicide, men are dogs, arumene nyamu. No. You have to look at everything from both sides. Where is all this trauma coming from? How do we deal with this? How do we deal with these women who are carrying father wounds? Deep down inside, they have deep father wounds. Hata wajui zilitoka wapi. We have also men who are weak men. Hata wajui pia wao waanzie wapi. Because we have to look at the root cause. We cannot just be going around claiming. Haituwezi kuwa sasa chai. What you are calling chai, nonsense. What you are calling chai is people now gambling with their lives. And tulisema we have to heal this generation. And to heal this generation means we have to heal ourselves so that we can heal the children. Our fathers wachana now. It's already too late for them. There's nothing they can do. Those ones are damaged. They are done. There's nothing you cannot tell your father anything. Relationship yake ili fail. So wachana na babako. You cannot tell your mother anything. And these people should not even be advising you. Stop listening to advice from your failed parental's relationship. Babako anakuja kuambia ati bibi yako, unajua ukitaka kuishi na bibi, wewe unaniambia maneno ya bibi na umeshindwa kukaa na mamangu. Unani advise nini wewe? As an example. Sijui relationship hapo, my son, unajua this wife, wewe unaniambia venye nitaishi na bibi yangu na wewe uko kwako ukiwa mamangu. You already separated with my father. What can you tell me? You are the least person I should be listening to when it comes to relationships. Because as examples, as patterns, you have failed. So if the advice you are giving me is the advice is used in your relationships, ili fail. Na hii ndio shida kubwa mko nayo. All these women are advised by their mothers. All these men are listening to their fathers. And these baby boomers, they failed in their relationships. 98% of people in their 60s are separated. But these are the people you are going to for advice when it comes to relationships. The woman has been left to assume full responsibility for managing the household. When it comes to finances, when it comes to emotional needs, it is the women are running the homes. Men stopped even knowing what is being eaten in homes. Akilipa shule, alipe house rent, ataki kuulizwa kitu kingine. Especially if a woman is working, that is it. Ni hivyo, amemaliza. Asiulizwe kitu kingine. So, and food is expensive too. It is a woman to know watoto watavaa nini, kiatu, wataenda shule wapi, akona sweta, akona kitabu, amefanya homework, amefanya. And I'm speaking, I told you, I like teaching with example. Sometimes I'll catch myself 3 days in a row. I've not helped my daughter do her homework. It's always the mother. So as I'm observing, I'm like, wait a minute. Hii tabia jenga uliona wapi? And then I realized, oh shit, when I was growing up, my father actually never did homework with me. even a single day. In fact, the only homework my father did was beating me up. Out of the blue, angechukua kitabu ono umerong, anakuambia haha, 2 times 2, pa, nenda kwa, pa. So we are living our pattern. So we have to change this thing. We have to stop being the passive men that we saw our father being passive. Being passive does not just mean that you are being run over. No, it means you as a man, you have to participate in the day-to-day tasks. Long-term planning. You should have a meeting day where you plan long with your wife. Munakaa chini ama spouse, ama girlfriend. It doesn't even have to be a wife. Fuck all these even relationship of easy situationship ndio nitafanya mpigane huku. Because you're trying to maintain something. Uko JCM, utaki kuonekana umeachana bibi. No, fuck those churches. What are your long-term plans? Muna plan nini in 5 years, in 10 years? Even talk about if you're not together. Those are healthy conversations. Should even happen and we are not together, how do we raise this child? Those are, a woman now feels safe. This man is even thinking about the child or me, even if we were to separate. Because stop leaving your women to assume full responsibility. Nyinyi mnaanguka na to go fuku bypass mnakufa. Tukikuja kufanya mchango ya mazishi hapo, ile pesa inabaki hapo kidogo. Now we are undecided whom to divide it to. Kumetokea msichana mwingine ako na mtoto, mother-in-law na yeye amekuja ati anataka apewe pesa. You saw that Super Metro stupid story. Na kuna msichana mwingine hapa. Sasa 200,000 ndio imebaki after mazishi. Sasa 200,000 tutapea nani? Utapea mamako? Utapea bibi yako mwenye tunajua, ama utapea girlfriend yako? Marafiki wako wanamjua, wengine wako wanamjua. So we are leaving our women to take full responsibility. They are managing household finances, emotional needs. Hata wacha a hand of emotional needs should not be left to the women, because the women are already emotional. We need logic. We need real men. Shida is that we don't have real men. The men we have are kina Kibe, riding for fame, crisscrossing the counties, going to meet students. Failures, akina Americs. And these people are giving advice based on the red pill. More lostness. Our women are reacting like this because they are being forced into what you call the masculine role, where they are managing. You see, I do a lot of social experiments. Sometimes I'll come and I talk to Monjura Muza, how was your day? Monjura niambia, hey, mimi nimeshangazwa na wanaume wa Nairobi. I'm like, what happened? Unajua kwa line ya Super Metro, nowadays she doesn't use Super Metro. Alitoka hiyo cult. Achele yangu iko line, onanga watu wamechelewa kwa line mpaka saa 3 wakipangishwa line kama watoto. Wewe, usijaribu kupita hiyo line na kimuti. Our mama, those are the people I'm talking about. These millennials, these baby boomers, they are so scared. Hata kwa matatu ukiona venye wana controliwa na watu wasako unawarumia. Wewe, usijaribu kukata line. Wewe unaongea naye nini? Toka kwa line. Hata sasa uwezi enda uongee na mtu kwa line, amepanga line ya metro na pengine hata uendangi hiyo route. Atunaambiwa toka hapo, mwezi ongea, mtaongea na simu, naona mtu ametoka. So the women is being forced into the masculine role. Wanaume wanang'ang'ana matatu wakirusha wamama kando. Unakimbia nyumbani ukafanya nini? So acha wamama waende nyumbani kwanza. That should be a rule for all circles. Women and children first. Wanaume wapange line. Wanafaa ukikuja kwa yini ukiona wamama wana board wote. Wacha wanaume wabaki Nairobi. Watachukua gari za mwisho. Fuck the men. Women should be home. Uma wanapanga line, bado ni yeye ataenda kupika. Wanaume wenyu, they are stupid. They can't even get in the kitchen. They think that is masculinity. Bibi anakuja saa 3 amenyeshewa ndio nafika saa 3:30 anakuja, "Guy mutiri muraria." Tokore yake, "Nini eduga goko?" You should have cooked for those children, ufanye homework. You are happy pumping your seed into her. Now she's tired. 9:30. Yeye ndiye anakuja ile kitu inapikwa. Aingie kitchen apike. Na bado umenuna hapo. Ukimuuliza umechelewa wapi? Na wewe ndio ulikuwa unafinya mama ukikimbizana na Super Metro uende nyumbani mapema, matatu zingine. Now you are home. Now you see now, so the woman now has no safety. Remember nimekuambia this is subconscious. Hata ajuangi, it's inside her. Ni survival instinct. So they kick in and ain't into her masculine role. Akiingia into the masculine role, remember masculine is out, pushing out. So atakuambia kitu. Atakwambia no urugire ciana. Sasa umekasirika tu ataka kumslap. Na yeye amekasirika kwa ina mask anakuambia niguze kidogo hivi. Hutia nini uguo? Sasa the children are there scared the same way you are raised by your father where you are scared of violence in your home. Inajiripitia the same pattern. So mother wounds. She was raised by an unsafe father. She has a father wound. Imejitokeza sasa. So this woman, she's not only managing her own life, but also the man's life. Just like her mother. The same way a mother would do for a child. So the woman starts to oversee every aspect of that relationship. Akuje apike, afanye homework, aoshe vyombo, aingie kwa kitanda bado uko hapo with your dick outside. Like it's a privilege. Bado wataka kumkula na hiyo kuchoka yote. Hata una shame, you can't even massage her back or something. So what happens? All that imbalance is what is leading to all this resentment, all this emotional fatigue. The women are tired, the woman is wounded, the man is wounded. All of you, emotional immaturity. The man is wounded and I feel abandoned. The Beijing narrative. Everything is against the man. The system has been rigged against the man. The woman, mwenye alichangia hiyo pia bila kujua, pia yeye ako hapo. Emotional fatigue. You are walking deads. I look at people sometimes. I'll go somewhere and sit down and just observe people. Put on my sunglasses and just observe. Hata siongei, I'm just observing. Because you can learn a lot from people not saying anything. Their body language. I just look at the men walking with their faces down. The men are sitting down. I see how they have crossed their legs, hiding their balls. They have shame written all of them. I look at the women. They are tired. They're just hoping the day ends. I look at the children. They are tired. So this is what you have become. You have been destroyed spiritually to the point it's pitiful. And the more passive the man becomes, the more effort that woman has to put into sustaining that relationship. Men have given up. Kanudhu. The other day I went to talk to boda men. Nauliza who is a man. Hakuna mtu aliniambia. You saw the other time we were making that mushroom house. We remember that live. Nauliza men, who is a man? Hakuna mtu anajua who is a man. So you have men walking around, they don't even know who a man is. They don't even know who they are. Na akona bibi. My favorite boda rider, mwenye ubeba Monjiro when I'm not around, anamuweka home and everything. The wife left him 6 months. Amerudi kwa sababu kwenye alikuwa ameenda amefukuzwa. Now that man is sleeping with protection with his own wife. And now the man anatesa bibi akisema si amerudi juu huko kwingine aliachwa, but bado wanaishi pamoja. You see, the man is passive. So this woman knows this man is weak. He took me back and the only reason he's entertaining me is because I don't have anywhere to go. So that woman is already feeling unappreciated. That woman is feeling unsupported. Her needs, whether they are emotional, like those church nonsense people, whether her needs are practical, whether her needs are financial, they are not being met in return. The same for the man. The frustration inakuwa magnified because the man is also showing little initiative to change the dynamic. Because you see, even if you don't have the tools, the man can show that he wants to change. He can speak about it. He can reinforce the woman's feelings that she's not in that partnership for no reason. But rather, this is a relationship. The man can become or take the role of a caretaker. Caretaker, mnaendanga kwa apartment mnakuta kuna caretaker. Kazi ya caretaker ni nini? Choo kiblock, mwanaume caretaker. We, hii choo imefunga. Caretaker, tufungulie maji. Caretaker, hizi tokens zinapiga kelele sana, huyu jamaa alienda mashambani akaacha hii token ona inapigia kelele kwa hii dirisha. Si uzime hii. So there's so many roles that you can play as a man even if the dynamics have shifted. You can become the caretaker of that home. And that can at least reinforce your role for the feminine. You see, as a man, you cannot rely on the woman to manage everything. The woman can manage your practical aspects. Unaweza kuwa pengine you are not working. Unaweza kuwa shit is not working for you. Yes, the feminine, they are good managers. She can step in and take care of those practical aspects of your life. But your emotional well-being cannot be taken care by a woman. Hiyo ni yako. Hiyo, you are either going to start walking, join a gym, sijui utafanya nini, hiyo bibi yako hawezi kusaidia. She cannot. She's not designed for that. She's feminine. So this dependence ndio inaleta hii suffocating for the woman. A woman is doing her business, she's doing everything and everything, but she's feeling suffocated. Now she feels like it's her responsibility for your happiness. You are such a miserable man who goes to seek your happiness in church. You are so miserable. You think success is what is going to make you heal emotionally, while in fact it fucks you even more. So now the women have become like parents guiding their children. Now these roles wanna play with their hubbies or with their boyfriends. Not just the women in relationships, even boyfriends. The women are even managing boyfriends. Girlfriends are managing boyfriends. Unaingianga hapa TikTok unaona mwanaume amelewa. Mtu ana record msichana ajaribu kuinua mwanaume, let's go home. Akisa umekunywa kwa nini? Saa hizo mwenye ana record, he's waiting huyu mwanaume ya Blake apite na huyu mama. So the woman is already unsafe. Umeenda na mwanaume club ame Blake. What is this? Now who's going to take care of this woman now? She was dressed to kill. Amevaa micro. Umeenda Quivers, wherever you go. Umelewa sasa. You are so emotionally unbalanced. You are seeking comfort in drink. Umeitisha mzinga wezi maliza. Ulikuwa unataka kushindana na wakavura wa TikTok kama wala wanaume wengine wanafanya wash. So umeitisha mzinga, imekulemea Black Label na umefuliza. Sasa umebleki. Bibi yako sasa anajaribu kuinua, you already heavy. So the women are taking the roles of the man. Unaangalia msichana ajaribu kuinua mwanaume mpaka unamhurumia. At the back of the mind we are men, I'm like, si mzee Blake ni kule hii kitu yake na ni unajua. So the man is becoming more disengaged from the women. Because even the shame the next day unauliza msichana tulienda aje nyumbani, your masculine is already wounded. So what are you doing? The men are feeling content. They are now comfortable to let the women handle the heavy lifting in their relationship. Heavy lifting ni hiyo atumebleki unainuliwa na mwanamke. So the men are now content with allowing the women to do all the heavy lifting in the relationships. And here we know that this has been designed. We know that there are systems put in place to make that happen. When you watch movies, any movie you watch, especially for the black man is always shown as weak. In any movie you watch, the black man ni messenger, ni atashutiwa. If there's a movie yenye iko na driving, the black man atacrash gari, the black man will be the first one to be shot, the black man in the movie will be the waiter, the black man in the movie will be the man cleaning, the black man in any movie will be the most scared. Oh my god! Yeye ni onyesha yangu amestuka. But mzungu anaonyeshana wakiwa calm. Kwanza wanaonyesha wakijipaka huko. I'll be back. Terminator. Unaona? So we understand that these things, itangwa subliminal messaging, has been effected to destroy the black man. But you cannot just, now you know. Now you know. Because to be fair, women, you have to stop mothering. You have to stop mothering these men. You have to let go of control. Stop handling these men's responsibilities. Stop solving most of their problems. Clearly communicate your needs and also ask for help. The more you treat your man like an infant, the more you are contributing to his demasculinization. You may think you are helping, but you are actually contributing to that. That is why the men are letting you do all the heavy lifting. Now, this word is so heavy, to be really honest. Tutoke hapo. That does not give you an excuse for you now, as a woman, because you have mother wounds, to think that you can take on any and every man you meet to express your weakness. That is unacceptable. Now, there are so many women who get hurt because, remember, women, you are dealing with very emotionally unstable men. And men will always be stronger than you physically. Why? They are built like that. They have more muscles, they have bigger lungs, so by default, they are more powerful. So maybe he didn't even mean to hit you that hard, but when he hits you really hard. And when he's hitting you out of there's a word for it, I'm looking for it, inaitangwa self-defense. Self-defense. Hakuna mtu unaweza muattack hata kama ni a man with a weapon na akose kujiprotect. But when he fights back, it will be exaggerated because by default that is who he is. Okay? So women now, your insecurities, these father figures na hizo vitu venye umejiwekelea zenye zinafanya you attack any man you see, hata kama umjui, you want to attack that man. You don't even know the man. I do accept that it is subconsciously. You don't even know you are doing it because you are doing it subconsciously without knowing, because it's a father wound. However, that does not excuse you. That does not excuse you at all. There's something that is called fuck around and find out. Pia itakuondokea. Pia itakusave. Okay? So let me see if there's any question. And then I don't even want to go on that line because that line of event is taking me to other things we have shared which you don't want to go back into. Okay, not because we can, but because we don't want to. Let me check your questions first. Shout out to everyone in the comments. So there is no question. You are just interacting. I thought they were a question. So shout out to all the people interacting in the comments. I was looking for a specific question. There is no question. So kama hakuna swali, we can move on. Kuna mtu ameuliza swali hapa, who is a man? Juu hajai understand. To put it simply, a man is building something. You can build a statue, a house, a business, a relationship, a community. That is the role of a man. The role of a man is to build. So in whatever you are doing, find out how you are building something. You have to be known for building something. You have to be known, hata kama ni nyumba 10, that is now a man's role, is to build something. In the simplest form, man is to build. Man is to build. In the simplest form, females is to nurture or do what you call manage. Manage. Now, no, kuna kitu nimeona imenifanya nisiende on that train of thought. So 1 2 3, it's not worth it. So yeah, that's all for Reparenting Tuesday today. If you don't have a question, we can end the live. Before you rush to judge things on the social media without getting the whole story, always understand that no one is innocent. Not the man, not the woman. It's by design. It's by design. Chill. Pause. Usichangie kwanza. Do not become... The Bible tells you vizuri sana. He who has no stone, cast the first stone. He who has no sin. Before you miss the point, urushe mawe. Observe kwanza. What nonsense is this? What is the story behind this? Because there could be so many things behind the story that you don't know. But the keynote is you are all emotionally immature. You have been raised by parents who have failed. Your whole parents have failed you. Your own parents hate you. Ni wazazi wangapi hapa wawezi kupeleka upeleke mahali wewe na ni mzazi wako? Your parents think they can advise you on everything. Na wamefail. They don't even allow you to live your lives. Your own parents hate you. So don't look at your parents as an example. Wewe ndio uko saa hizi. Wewe ndio unajua what you are piti. Parents wako walilelewa na mababa zenyu kwa hizo mashamba before maguka wenyu waache mababa zenyu mauze. Wewe umejilelea kwa ploti. Ulianza maisha comrade na mattress pale chini. Shida. Your only solace was sex in campus. Hiyo ndio solace yako. Your only comfort was sex in campus. Because mzazi wako akikutuma shule ni hivyo na amekupea ku pocket money, usimwambie kitu kingine. Ni vitu yangu dhomithirie. Si nimekulipia university. Ni watu wangapi huko naenda university? That is nothing. That is just a school. So you have been raised listening to those tones. Umepatana na comrade mwingine shule, move in. Now you have started a relationship. Two broken people. Raised by broken millennials and baby boomers. And you're supposed to find a solution to your marriage. Amwezi. We need to set up new relationships. Fuck monogamy. Fuck polygamy. We have to come up with new ones. New ones. New ones zenye zitatu accommodate today. The females in our lives and the males in our life, we have to be in that position where now we have new relationships. They don't even need names. We don't need to use their names. That's the only way we can heal. Forget these names. Atuwe ni polygamy. Tupa hizo majina hata sujui zinasema nini. Tupa huko mbali. Uko monogamy. Tupa hiyo kitu kwa kanisa, toka huko. Kuja kwa ground. Kwa ground vitu ni different. Ukitaka kujua kwa ground vitu ni different, enda Lang'ata wakati wa mazishi. Sio many people ujitokeza huko nasikia ala, kwani alikuwa na msichana mwingine. That is the reality today. So let's find ways of accommodating these relationships where we are open, vulnerable. We speak about these things. Jana tuliongea about speaking your truth, your authenticity. People may not like to hear it, but it's your truth. You are walking in your authenticity. You are walking in your truth. Men, ebu teremkeni Sheria House. And these are the conversations we'll be having on the 8th also, if you have time. Our meeting on 8th of December, Leilani Gardens, Kikuyu. We may have these conversations where chukua msichana yako, hata usiambie mtu, ita tu best yako, enda hapa Sheria House, book. Enda wao msichana, by law ni wako. You see, your women wanaachwa na mashida mengi sana. Unaangusha kagari kako Kaloni na hapa Gong Road, hata kukuzika inakuwa shida. All of a sudden mamako, niangelea mwana agethikire mwana, sasa umekuwa mtoto. Sasa you are a woman, mwenye is not recognized, juu hata hujafanya dowry. Haizi hata kuzika in peace na watoto wake, wamenyang'anywa mpaka mwili ya baba. Mazishi hata hawezi pewa chance ya kurudisha vote of thanks ama ongea about their father. The whole family now they have taken mwili ya mtoto wao ndio wanaongea kwa mazishi. Mwana wewe mnaona komete. Neni ndathomithirie na thina muingi muno aikara. What about the wife? mwenye wamekuwa na yeye 10 years wamezaa na yeye, huyu ndiye anamjua akiwa mtu mzima. Wewe mlimlea ukamfukuza nyumbani akiwa 18 akaenda campus. When they were an adult, ule mtu anamjua in their adult life ni bibi yake, wacha atuambie story yake. Wewe unamjua akiwa mtoto. Protect your women, men. Enda hapa Sheria House, marry that woman. Hata kama ataachwa na katata karori, wacha yako karori aachwe akilimia nako watoto. Wavini yako asichukue yako karori. This is the things we are doing. And this comes from weak men. When I look at your politicians in public with their legs crossed, I'm like, you are being led by men who hide their balls in public. Thieves. Weak boys. But then again, that's a representation of your mind. Your politicians are what you have agreed to as a collective. The real people who can lead the country, wako kwa kinyozi wakinyoa, wako kwa business zingine wakifanya business. Na vitu kama hizo. Protect your women first. Now this is also another warning to the women. Do your shadow work, because the world is unforgiving for women who have father wounds. They don't have the space. Men don't have the space to mother your mother wounds or your father wounds. We don't have the space. And we are lacking men. I said I'm not a man, I'm male. We have a shortage of men. Logic. It's true. Murang'a hakuna wanaume. Men wako hapa Kabete. Half men also. Stingy men. Dictators wamejaa hapa Kabete. All of them left with their women also. But at least wako na kau dictator. They are not Sims like Murang'a men. Okay? Especially for the Kikuyu community. Other constituencies have men. See what? The Kalenjins don't have men. They have bullies. Maybe the Maasai are managing their stuff better. The Kamba, hata musiongea about Wakamba. Okay? So, heal so that we can thrive. Without healing, there's no thriving. And I love you all from the bottom of my heart. Nyeri kazi yao ni Nyeri men, they break their women. Nyeri women are very broken. Kazi ya mama wa Nyeri ni kulimia kahawa na kila kitu, and the men take all the money. Kazi yao ni kushinda pale town Mong'etho. Okay? That's the reality. In our family, now I'm going to give you an example. In our family, you remember Meshinda, the one and only Meshinda. Mwenye alikuwa anajulikana wa Kinangop. Uko Nyahururu Kinangop. Wakati wa matatu. Meshinda, in our family extended, he was one of the men. Mwenye, as an example of a man would be him. In our full family, my father's side and my mother's side, we don't have examples of men. Hakuna mwanaume hata mmoja anaweza leta watu pamoja. Maybe I. And even when I call them, they don't pay attention. Ashinda sasa wanatuambia nini huyu? Atuambia nini huyu? They lack. All of them, they are broken. Me naongeanga out of experience. Can start from my father's side. My father was born in a family of 3 men, the men who made it. Moja Mbugwa, alikuwa mwenda wazimu Nakuru town anaokota makaratasi. He had stabbed someone with a knife. Hiyo yake ikaribika hivyo. Wenye alikuwa amedunga kisu alisema na yeye atajua. Mwenye alikuwa amefuata my dad Kamau, he's dead. May his soul rest in peace. Left a trail of women with children. Hata hakuna mwenye anaweza claim anything. My father separated my father with my mother. My father hata usimhesabu in anything. He's just there, shell. Let's go to my mother's side. The only brother on my mother's side, dejected. Ajui mbele ama nyuma. Let's go to my auntie now, sister to my mother, ako na watoto. The firstborn separated sijui from 2 or 3 wives, hata ajui aende wapi ama aenda wapi. Daughter to my auntie separated from the husband, used to be married to a cop, alikuwa anachapa bwanake na mmoa mapa meno, ana mbele ama nyuma. The other brother the same, those cousins done in that homestead. Tutoke huko kwa my auntie, tukuje kwa actually they are done, hata hakuna, there's nothing, there's no example. There's no grandfather mwenye ashaituita mahali trumba kuaguka. My own grandfather whom I'm named after, sikuwa ingia kwake, hatuku ni kuaguka, hakuwa na kwake hivi. He was a rolling stone everywhere. I never sat down with my grandfather for even 2 or 3 minutes, the one I'm named after. Tutoke hapo kwa my grandfather Jenga Richard the late, tuende kwa the brothers Kahora, wako hapa Remuru, hapa Remuru hapo. St. Joseph na hapo. Nothing. The Mudhaka's family there, nothing. Anyone named Mudhaka, nothing. I'm not talking of things as money and no, a home, nothing, no role models, nothing. So I don't have an example. So why should I listen to any of them? Nothing. Grandmothers tu ndio wanajaribu kushikilia, but they can't. The fathers are done, the grandfathers are done, and here we are repeating their patterns. Ayo tumekataa nayo, hapana. Hiyo hatuwezi fanya. No, we are not going to do that shit anymore. We don't need careless men anymore. We can't be reincarnated into this shit again. Hapana. This is why I even tell people now, don't even have children now. Don't even have, but you see, this is now the fucked up place is that when you reincarnate here, the highest chances are you are going to reincarnate through your cousins. Yet our families have not allowed us to create healthy relationships with our cousins. Now, let me tell you something. This is an esoteric tip. Try and maintain healthy relationships with your cousin. Jaribu msaidiane mkiwa cousin, kwa sababu cousin yako ndio anaweza kurudisha hapa. Watoto wa cousin yako ndio wanaweza kuzaa ukikufa before. Your cousin's children are bound to, you can reincarnate through them before any other person. Brother yako achana yeye na sister yako, mamako na babako, your cousins. Pay attention to those relationships. There's a reason why. Ni sawa? Sinikuwa nimesema bye bye. What am I even doing here? So, ciao ciao.